Hello there, everyone. So we have a brand new video to show off this time, and I'm also joined by a special guest for us. Why don't you introduce yourself to us?
Hi Chris, hi everybody else. My name's John, I'm the game director on LEGO Worlds.
So at last we finally get you on one of these videos. I've been desperately trying to get you on.
I guess so.
So this is going to be a new video.
I've been busy.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a few things working on at the moment.
A few thousand things. Let's have a look at them.
This is obviously something we've seen before. It's just a customizer, but it's more to do with the fact that there's quite a few UI style changes in the game. Again.
Now, this isn't a final treatment by any means. In fact, we're actually doing a UI pass on the graphical treatment right now. But what you can see is a cleaner tabbing system going on.
Yeah. And what's this?
This, my friend, is the discovery tool.
It is. This is... I don't know why I've gone straight in with the let's fire intergalactic going into the sky.
Because it's fun.
Yeah, and obviously when you do it with the big elephants like this, it's just even better. So you can place them on the floor, but if you aim off floor, they do launch.
So what's going on here is you've equipped the discovery tool, which allows you... It's kind of like a scanning tool. So you get this at the start of the game, and it allows you to discover things. Once you've discovered things, you can replicate it. You can create your own, place everything down. A little bit like the tools you already have in the game.
Yeah.
But this feeds into the idea of progression.
Yeah. So these are all very similar tools. It's more just sort of UI change. There was another thing I was doing there just a moment ago, which was a color replacer, which is I only discovered when I was doing this video actually for the first time, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, that's an interesting tool. It allows you to place bricks very much like in the add tool, but it will only replace the air cells.
Yes. Which was air cells basically is the gap, isn't it? Sort of in between everything else.
If you place a block of terrain, it won't embed it into the landscape.
Yes, yeah, which is awesome because it's a really nice sort of way of... It's almost like an additional paint sort of focus without damaging... you can edit stuff without damaging already existing work if you made a mistake.
That's exactly
on it, right?
the point. It won't delete any existing work.
Then this is one of my favourite tools, is a smoothing tool. And I know it's already in there, I love the smoothing tool. I like making like little valleys and canyons that look more natural. So this is more
quite
for sort of
therapeutic, but I prefer the flatten tool.
Yeah, the flatten tool's awesome. But it's really sort of, it's quite therapeutic, is a good way to put it. Just sit there and do stuff. And then I'm just messing around with our raise lower tool, which has obviously got multiple shapes and sizes.
Something else worth pointing out is the on-screen prompting. Now again, this isn't the final treatment, it's kind of obscuring what you're doing at the moment. We are improving that.
Yeah.
It's neater, it's tidier, there's more relevant information right in front of you. That's what we're trying to accomplish there.
Yeah, and obviously we just got a glance over our radial menu, which is obviously, I'm using an Xbox controller at the moment, so that's the hold the Y button down, isn't it? But you can carry the portrait with the mouse.
Yeah, that's right. It's what we do in most of our games. We have what we call a game wheel. We're not calling it out as such in the game, but the point of it is to give you access to everything in the game from one place.
Yeah. Here's another slide. Though. Obviously, there's some of the work's been done on sort of the glowing paints and stuff as well. So we've got nice little. Obviously, these are the piano paints.
Piano paints are cool. The lights are cool. Now these self-illuminate. Now there's been some really good render tech.
Because these used to be really overbearing, didn't they? So now they're not quite so much, but they still actually add like a light source to them, don't they? So
they create their own light sources, so you can paint lights along walls in caves.
Yeah. So
things like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I remember the greens in particular used to just blind you.
I have no idea how they did it. It's some kind of render tech, post effect thing. The guys with Enormo brains did that.
Yeah, I was like, this should look really nice. Oh,
hopefully they can explain how it works.
Yeah, this should look really nice. Oh wait, it's just a giant green light that's blinding me. And obviously these are the fluorescents and transparents as well. And this is another change. In fact, this might have changed twice without a public release, including the blue arrow and the changing of the highlights and stuff.
Yes, I believe so.
So
previously we had a blue arrow that indicated the direction of the next brick. We've changed it so that it shows a ghost of where the brick will place next. We've also changed the angle thresholds.
Yes.
From moving laterally to moving vertically. And we think it makes a lot more sense. For example, if you're looking down on the world, you'll move in the X and Z axis.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the horizon, you'll move vertically.
Yes, so like I'm about to do there, really.
So when you're building on controller, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, also I've noticed that going down is a lot easier as well, because that used to be one thing that used to be... I used to have problems with it. I also know there's a few people who used to say to me, can you make it so you can go down these a lot more. So there you go. I'm doing it now that I'm going straight down actually. So.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And one of the things the coders did was to make sure that if you physically move up and then along, it won't drop the brick back down again.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference to building on controller or on mouse if you're holding down the right mouse button.
So the eagle eye would have spotted there's some new bricks in there. I'm going to put a little image up of the new bricks that are going in. Also, though, this is a free build mode. So this is very similar to what already exists, isn't it? It's just a bit more sort of condensed down into
we're calling this
obvious stuff.
This free build mode. So we talked about the radial and how that gives you a game-like way of accessing all the tools. That's fine, but maybe not everyone's interested in that. So we have what we call free build, which is essentially an expansion of all the functions in the game. And you can just instantly flick between those on mouse or controller.
Yeah. So it's kind of like an advanced versus simplistic approach to both, all the tools almost, isn't it?
It also means you don't have to go back to gameplay to pick another tool.
Yeah, which is awesome.
It's the same for the game wheel. You don't have to go back to gameplay before going to another tool.
So this is another new feature. The iceberg is not. Well, it's new. I went past that because it looked really pretty.
There are some rendering issues with alpha bricks, but icebergs are cool.
Yeah, they look really nice when I first saw it.
Literally cool.
Yeah, I see what we did there.
Thank you.
So these are internally we're calling them Connolly with a K, which is I'll explain.
We don't know why, but it's always with a K.
One of our lead mechanics guys decided that was the way to do it. But these are all procedure generated, are they not?
They are.
There we go. So this was...
As are towns.
This town was awesome.
Now, we've been talking about this on and off for a long time. We've shown images, we've shown videos. We've demoed this at a couple of shows now, I believe.
Did the creator, isn't it, is the thing we showed off. This is obviously the Wild
With
West.
a K?
No, that was a C. That's definitely with a C.
Okay.
I don't think Lego would let us rename that, to be honest. Probably rightfully so, to be honest.
We could ask, but
we could try.
Unlikely.
We could try. But this was awesome. So there's stuff in there that looks like it's sort of potentially leaning towards intrinsic game. I love the tiles as well.
Yeah, this is a tile set. I think it's based on a real one. We have a couple of colour variations because we have a couple of different town variations.
Yeah, but I like the fact that these are all sort of built inside as well. So you've got staircases, you've got props that are pre-generated in there as well with them. Also, I've noticed there's sort of oddly specific buildings. So you've got the barber shop in the corner, but also I've noticed there's a bank and a sheriff's.
There's also a saloon now, of course.
Oh, is there?
This isn't a traditional saloon. This is a tea saloon or a smoothie saloon.
Milkshake. I'm in the bank.
Milkshake saloon.
And
This is Lego
the
after
jail.
all.
Here's the jail cell.
Yeah.
So
of course, whoever is in that jail hasn't done anything particularly nasty. Because this is a family show after all.
Yeah, of course. And but I mean, I suppose the answer here is there going to be sort of intrinsic gameplay linked to these colonies that we're looking to try and implement?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things we're working on at the moment. The characters that have objectives that you can fulfill for them.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of the time has been going. We've been putting in activities. You could call them missions or quests. But things for the player to do on behalf of other characters in the game. The vibe is all about helping people out.
Yeah.
It's not in a story capacity.
Speaking of vibe,
yes.
check this place out.
What's going on here, Chris?
So, right next to my Wild West town was an entrance to an underground dungeon that I had previously missed.
As opposed to an overground dungeon.
Is it a dungeon? Or is it a cave?
I think by definition it's underground.
Is it? Okay, there you
Sorry.
go. There we go. So I'm always now then. So these are really cool. So there's definitely again intrinsic gameplay value in the sense that there's sort of fire, there's the spinning blades, these pools of lava. There's obviously populated by sort of enemies. So again, these are all procedural.
These can be found
Anywhere really, right?
in any world that's big enough to accommodate one of these.
And there's a secret that I'm not going to reveal.
Each dungeon will have secrets, will have enemies. We've done more work on this. We've improved the graphics recently.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that chest is obviously one of the sort of end games, but you need a key to open some of that stuff. So,
Apparently so.
I didn't have my key at the time, so. And then this is me messing around with some of the new items that are in there that we've.
Oh, Chris, the new items. They're so cool.
I know. So that was my water pistol, and then in there is some odd stuff. So I went away for a little bit, and I came back, and all of a sudden this list just blew up in front of me. So we've got these nice little sort of light effects with these torches, different colours and stuff.
Yeah, we went through a
Water
process
pistol.
of kind of looking at the tech that we had available to us, and realised that we could actually do quite a lot. Hence the coloured lights, the water pistol.
different bow types there. So you've got
Different
lava
bows,
bow,
they're
ice
really-
bow,
They're cool. They're loads of fun.
and so this is me messing with the
Perfect for
explosive
competitive
compound bow.
play.
Yeah, I think that was the other thing. I sort of seen that, and I was like, oh, okay, that could be really fun for the online mode, sort of ice versus fire bows and things
Well,
like that, if people wanna do that.
exactly. The online mode is a huge thing.
Oh, here we
for
go.
us.
This is the ice bow. So this is the ice bow. So it actually alters the terrain as well. So whereas the normal bow just kind of bounces around, these guys will start putting patches of ice in there.
That's right.
And then obviously the carrot launcher. What was the thinking behind that?
Well, it was just a natural progression. I mean, a bazooka is all well and good, but it's not cool until it launches carrots
No.
around.
And again, this one does the terrain and everything as well. Orange sort of thing. So there we go. I mean, it was just one of those things. I found it and I went, wow, that's got to go in the video, hasn't it?
It's not the most extreme.
No.
Item,
And then there's this dude. So this is our mega bazooka. So I found a really nice fluorescent mushroom. And I thought, well, let's see how big this explosion is.
And did what came naturally to you.
Of course. And so I was like, right, one shot. Okay, and the second shot, and it's gone. So it's pretty powerful bit of kit, isn't it? I've burrowed through to the bedrock pretty fast with that as well. So it's
Good for you.
Yeah, it's pretty quick, isn't it, that one? So I
agree.
didn't like these mushrooms, so I just thought I'm going to try this out. And yeah, it cleaves its way through quite nicely.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And now moving on slightly, these aren't too unfamiliar, these sort of quests, but this particular one is a nice set of like chained quests that he sort of gives you multiple tasks now, doesn't he?
That's right. Yeah, it's a little scenario, if you like, where you help this character out through a series of mini adventures. It's just about putting the characters and creatures, vehicles, all the content in the game into context. So we've just spent loads of time putting them together, having them make sense, giving them things to do, rather than just the basic fetch quests.
Yeah.
That's still integrated, but in a more meaningful way. The way you unlock characters and the way you track down creatures, they have more interesting behaviours now.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is another sort of start of that quest where he's actually asking for very specific props now, isn't he, to be placed down in the world around him.
That's
so
right.
Yes. There's two isolated boxes.
Which you may or may not have at this
Yes,
point.
I think that was the other thing as well. Obviously, you may have saw that giant white list of texts because I'm using a cheat version of the game at the moment where everything sort of messes around and unlocks quickly. So these things, I already had them. And obviously, he hands me this gold brick. Now, we're going to reveal what they're about a little bit later, aren't we? Because
we are.
We're still sort of nailing that all down. But here's another thing. This is cool, this next one. I like these. This is actually a creative quest now. So he wants us to help him build around him in that little sort of green outline area. Luckily, he's not too strict because I'm not very good.
You're not.
No, I'm just not creative enough. That's why I'm a producer and not an artist or an animator or a director. I don't have creativity. So that's my house.
That's pretty cool, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, it counts, right? He accepted it.
It
so.
was better than your last build.
Oh dear. Anyone that has any information about Brick Live will be aware that some of the builds I was doing on stage were horrendous.
Fortunately, we have an amazing community that have done some stunning builds.
Yes, yeah, quite a few. Some of those are in the game, and actually,
And more will be,
when this comes out, the latest one should hopefully have wrapped up.
maybe.
So there should be even more cool stuff to come out there around then. So that'll be good. So that's just a few of the things we've worked on. John, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I know you're very busy trying to sort all this out. So we are kind of doing a countdown at the moment to a specific time where something else will be revealed.
I believe so.
What that could be, I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. So keep tuned to that. Keep an eye on that, and let us know what you think to these things. And obviously, as always, keep the suggestions coming. We do read them. They do end up somewhere in your notepad was one of the things we tweeted out recently.
I have a desk completely covered in notes.
I leaned over your shoulder once in your notepad, and I'm not quite sure how you discern anything that's left in there. I've seen you.
I'm not entirely sure how I do either. But that's why we have a bug database.
Yes, because that's where they will end up
A
eventually.
very large bug database.
Yeah, where they end up eventually. So thank you very much for everyone. Keep tuned, and we will have some very, very good news regarding what we're doing in the future. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Thanks, John.